Hi everyone, welcome back to Stella Rosebella. Today's video is a little different, as you can see in the background. I didn't write a script for this, so this is just my first impression, my thoughts about the two shows that have aired currently. One of them is Yoni, the new season, and Zhao, 2021. So, before the show started, there were rumors online, there were news online of like how these shows are gonna be this season. One of them being Chuang being like an international show, because there's like an international type of vibe to it this season because of the participants that are gonna be in it, and also like the promo stuff that they use to promote their new season. And the rumors are like, who are the mentors gonna be this season? There are rumors of like Crystal being on the show, Amber being on the show, Zhao, and like everyone. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, if Crystal and Amber are gonna reunite on the show, everyone's like, oh my gosh, why don't we get all the ex-SM artists on the show and just have everyone be there together? I think that'll be awesome. So when there were rumors that Zhao was gonna be on the show, I was like, But I was like, he'll be a great like vocal coach. And there were rumors that Zhao Nan was gonna be on the show as well, and I was like, huh? I was like, what's going on? And then Nene, so I was like, okay, so what? And that was that of that. The reason why I watch these shows is because of the mentors. And so I was watching how they critique the participants, and Deng Chao and this lady, I don't remember her name, but I've watched her dramas before, and they're really nice. I don't know, this group of mentors this year are pretty nice. I got used to like Wang Zitao like sort of telling these participants like really strict with them and just telling like how he feels and everything, and like obviously like if you can do it, you do it and try all your best and all this type of vibe. And then I was like, okay, I was like, I need a strict like mentor. But Zhou and Amber, I haven't seen Zhou Nan commenting much yet, but Amber, there was one participant that performed, and after they perform, you can have like a bonus, like extra points, sort of type of thing. They let him choose like which one you want to perform. You could do dancing or singing, and he asked the mentors like, "Oh, what do you think I should perform?" He did both of them. And I was like, what? And Amber told the other participants, because he was sort of like the first people that went on the stage, and his group, basically. And she told the people, like the other participants, is like, when you make a mistake on stage, that's like the one time thing. You don't get a second chance. And so like other participants were like, yeah. And then Zhou also talked about like, asked the participants like, do you care about the vocals? Like, is vocals like important when you perform? And they're like, yeah. Well, like when he asked the participants, they're like, yeah. And he talked about like, he's like, sometimes like I noticed that in the chorus they don't like sing it. It's just like all the recorded like sound. They just like 对嘴. And so he was like, it's important to your vocal skills are very important as well. And I love how he critiqued and like everything. It's like Amber and Joshin, I think, to me right now, their style, it's like they're nice. They'll put in like a nice way, and they're like awesome people, and but they're strict at the same time. It's not like Wang Zitao's like, oh, like really strong and everything. And so then I don't know. I'm excited for how Amber's gonna critique, and also how Joshin's gonna critique. On the other hand, 青春有你. So 青春有你, when it was announced for the new season, I knew that Rui Shuxin was gonna be sort of like the TA in the show. And so I was like, okay, I love her, and the reason why I'm watching the show is because of her. And obviously, Pan Shui, he's in the show as well. And so I was like, okay, and Li Ronghao, obviously. And so I was like, okay. But the preview for the show was that they were gonna have a press conference like before any of the mentors perform or anything, they set the stage. The participants set the stage. So there were 30, I'm not sure if it's like 30 people in the room or 30 different media outlets. I'm a little confused by that. But basically, there are reporters there, and they were randomly called into the room. And the mentors are obviously like watching this as well in the other room. And they're talking and they were asking these questions. And I felt like the style from these two shows are obviously really different. But I felt like for Chun Yoni, I right now, I have a better feeling for this show. Like, I like the show more simply because I felt like the press conference was sort of a way to show the participants like personalities and everything. And obviously there'll be people that like stand out in the show. The participant, he didn't have any hair. Yeah, he didn't have hair, but he's one that stood out to me. That was the other participant that stood out to me because the way he responded to the reporters, because the reporters look at their profiles before they ask the question, sort of like background and everything. And one of the things that he said is like starting over and like reborn and everything. And so she's like, so how, like, why did you write that? Like, what does that mean? And he's like, who wrote that? The reporter's like, you wrote that. And so he was like, just by standing here, I'm like reincarnated reborn. Okay, this is like me. And I was like dying when he said that. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, and so they got to perform, like 2-3 groups got to perform because a lot of the time was taken up by the reporters, like the media, like surprise, like media meeting, press conference basically. And so like I was like, okay. The one that stood out to me performing wise is the Shengmao group because I've seen them in Tian Tian Shang Shang, I believe. I remember seeing them in a show. So they're not new to me. I love that group. So I was like, oh, so exciting to see this group. I love them. But in terms of the mentors in this show, I don't know yet because they're pretty nice to the participants. They're really like how they felt because they're talking about Li Ronghao talking about how he was worried for the Shengmao group. But then later he's like, oh no, you guys, because they did a dance cover of Blackpink's song. And so he's like, okay, this is a different style from what y'all were doing because they were like doing like sort of like the cute type of style. And he's like, I don't want you guys to be put into a box. It will sort of limit like what kind of style of music that you may do in the future. And so I was like, oh, okay. And they did that other song and I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, okay. But for real, like this show, this season, I feel like, I don't know yet. I actually, based on the press conference, I already love how the show is going. And like Esther, Ryu left, like different mentors left like voice messages for the participants on a phone and left it in their dorm. And Ryu was saying how like when she, like her season, she talked about how she hide her cell phone and everything, and so the Jemuju knows like how, like possibility and ways of how the participants may hide their cell phone. And she's like, you know what, this year they're not even gonna take your cell phone away because they closed off all the signals, so you can't use the cell phone anyway. So it's like basically useless just having your cell phone there. So I was like, oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I just died when I saw that. But I'm excited to see what kind of role Rui Shuxing will have on the show. Because like it was really cute because she finally got Lisa's contact information, like contact info. It was really funny. And so she could contact Lisa, and it was really cute. So I'm like really excited to see how this show goes for them. So yeah, it's really interesting how they both aired their first episode the same week. And so let's see who is gonna do well. I don't know. I think it's funny because like when I watch these shows, I don't pay much attention to the participants. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I just pay more attention to the mentors. Um, and so yeah, but obviously I will watch how they critique the different participants. And I don't know, I feel like the participants this year, I don't know yet for this show because they haven't performed much. So we will see. I don't know, I really liked it when the first seasons for both shows, I really loved the first season. And then later the seasons I was like, no, no more. But yeah, so yeah, this is just me talking about the two shows that I'm watching right now. And I don't know which one do you like? Do you like the Chuang 2021 or do you like Yoni, the newest season? And which participants are you supporting or who sort of stood out to you? And what do you think of the mentors this year, comparing the two shows? Yeah, so I'm just excited to see how the mentors critique and like everything. And so yeah, I will see you in the next video. This video is a little different, sort of like a vlogging style. I'm testing this out right now. And so let me know if you like this style. Leave a comment below about that, and also like about the shows, like which one do you like, which participants stood out to you. And yeah, and I will see you in the next one. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I will see you soon. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I am working on Dolo Dalu analysis because it's taking some time because I really want to get deep into like what I see and what I notice, and I have to like look through the episodes again and again and see like what I think about certain things. It's like reading a book basically, and I have to go through my source. Okay, so don't worry, that's coming.